Today's beer is a beer from Northern Monk and part of their Patrons project. This is Northern Monk's Patrons, Working Class Heroes. It's a collaboration with Independent North and it is called No Such Thing as the Wrong Weather. There's lots to tell you about this beer, so keep on watching to find out what it's all about. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is from Northern Monk. This is their Working Class Heroes, Independent North. No Such Thing as the Wrong Weather, that's what it's called. Now, all these, the Patrons Projects ones, all have these sort of opening sort of inlay sort of thing. It's almost like, you know, going back to those record covers of old where you can read all lots of different stuff about it. And there's plenty to read in here. Tells you all about it, really. I'll give you a little bit of a summary, really. Working Class Heroes are a group of skateboarders, mountain bikers and climbers and beer lovers who just happen to run a clothing shop. So it talks about them and the collaboration with them and obviously with Northern Monk. Because obviously this is one of their Patrons projects that they do with all different, they've done it with artists, they did it with surfers, they've done all kinds of different people and other sort of companies that produce different types of things that sort of has a sort of connection with beer. But this is it says it's a fresh hoppy IPA. It's got quite a lot going on it actually, and it's got Azacca, Citra, Idaho 7, Strata, and Citra Cryo as well, or Cryo. Because I've been saying Cairo, but it's actually cryo, as in cryogenic, not Cairo. So I apologise for everyone that for me completely pronunciation on plenty of my other videos. But I will now remember it's cryo instead of Cairo. Okay, so it's cryo, the cryo hop. This is it's a double dry hopped. No, it's not. Is it not? It's not double dry hopped. Just a 6% IPA. It doesn't say it's double dry hopped, but there's lots going on in it. So let's crack this beer open. Stop my waffling. Get it into a glass. I mean, I don't think I've had a bad Patrons project by Northern Monk. I think that they're really excellent. It's sometimes a little bit quirky, but generally they're always pretty good. And they are very much in that New England style, or certainly the ones that I've had have been. And this one looks no different. Certainly, beer in a glass looks absolutely just what I need, basically. Lovely sort of yellow golden colour. It looks a bit darker in there, but if you can see it up close, look at that colour, pure yellowy custard. We've got about 1.5 fingers of head there, and it's compacted and it's just a slight yellow tinge to it. Looks pretty damn good, I'd say. Let's see what it smells like. Juicy, fruity, big hits of mango, a little bit of pineapple, papaya, passion fruit. Oh, it smells just what you want from a New England IPA. There's also sort of like peachy sort of aroma. It's got all that, everything going on, you know. There's lots of hops in it, so it's a big hop forward beer. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's a big hoppy beer. So it takes a while to sort of get around the full hoppiness of it. But it's a massive juice bomb of a beer. You've got mango, you've got pineapple, passion fruit. Then you get also bits of sort of melon, a little bit of sweet tangerine, a little bit of sweeter grapefruit, like a pink grapefruit, other citrusy fruits, lemons and limes. There's a lot going on in this beer, a lot of it to try and understand what we're getting in there. I mean, going through the sort of hops. So Azacca sort of sometimes has that sort of melon, passion fruit sort of flavour, sometimes and mango as well. I mean, a big hit of that. I really do like it. It seems to really round out beers. Works really well. I've never had it on its own. I don't know if you can get it if there's a beer that's made with just Azacca, but certainly with other things as well. It really rounds out the other things in it, like obviously Citra, which has got the big sort of citrusy tropical sort of notes. Idaho 7. Yeah, that sometimes you kind of get a bit more pineapple, but I wouldn't say it was an overly pineapple-y sort of beer. What else? What else? The other hops in it? Oh, obviously it's got Strata can get grapefruit, get a bit of dankness, and you're getting that from this. It's just such a big juice profile up front that it's just like pure juice you're drinking. And all of those sort of a tropical juice, but with orange juice mixed in, with grapefruit juice mixed in, just a real concentrate of a real big juicy flavours. To be honest, it is absolutely superb. It's the sort of flavour of beer that I like. I mean, we've drank quite a lot of beers like this, but you're just looking at it, you just know you're in for a treat just by looking at it. It's exactly what I'm looking for when I pour a beer out. When I see stuff like that, I already know I'm going to be in for a treat, and this is no exception. 6%, perfectly sort of at the right sort of level for me. I think the IPAs are the sweet between 6 and 6.5. Yeah, we've had ones a bit higher, and we've had some a bit lower, though not many under 6%. But I think that's a really good sweet spot. And as I say, it's got lots going on it. It's just just when you think it can't get more sort of juicy, then it hits you again with another wave of juiciness. No bitterness, soft as you like, as you'd expect. I mean, you can see it in the glass. Look at that. It looks like clouds sitting on top of a pure custardy orange juice. And that's the best way of describing it, really. There is a creamy element in there. Yeah, delicious. So if you see any Northern Monk patrons, give them a try, because I don't think you get a bad beer from the patrons for it. It's almost as if they really sort of handcraft it even more than normal. You know, yes, you can go and buy things like Faith from the supermarkets. It's a good pale ale, and even the other, the New England, the Transient and the Scaffell and the Faith in the Futures one as well. They're all brilliant beers, but when you drink this, you just think it's got a little bit more effort going into it, a little bit more hops, a little bit more sort of. It's just crafted and balanced that a little bit better. I mean, this is not a cheap beer, £5.5 this was, so it's usually the patrons projects on a little bit more of the higher end, but you just know that, you know, this is almost like their very extra special sort of range of beers. You know, you can get lots of good beers, but if you want really, really the best that they can do, I always think the patrons projects are the ones that you should try. And this one is no different to the others. Excellent beer, another great beer from Northern Monk. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for the Northern Monk's Patrons project. This is No Such Thing as the Wrong Weather. It says IPA, but actually when I looked inside, it does say double dry hopped IPA. It's got Azacca, Citra, Idaho 7, Strata, and Citra Cryo. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 5 different types of hops, and you can tell it's a big, juicy, hop-forward beer. And to me, it is absolutely a brilliant beer. It's you know, we've had some really good beers recently. Certainly the Daya stuff has been pretty damn good. We've had, but not just that as well. What was the other? We had a recent beer that was pretty good. Yeah, I mean the Daya stuff was all in the 80s. It was all pretty damn good, and it's definitely some of the best beer that we've had. But this, to me, is as good as those Dayas. You know, it's even. As I drink it again, it's definitely at that level. And actually, when you go through the scores, you'll see why. First thing's aroma. Well, as soon as you crack it open, pour it into the glass, you're getting huge waves of big tropical sort of notes. A lot of mango, but you're also getting all kinds of citrus and grapefruits. You're getting passion fruit. You're getting probably a bit of papaya in there as well. You're also getting a subtleness of melon as well. I mean, you usually get that more with some of the New Zealand hops, but you're just getting that sort of subtleness of melon. And it just tastes it just has that aroma that's so juicy and so inviting. So I'm giving it a 16 for aroma. Appearance-wise, to me, this is what a beer looks like, how a good beer looks like. Look at that. I mean, there's not much of a head, but you can see the big creaminess of that huge sort of lacing of the glass. It's a beautiful colour. It looks better in the flesh than it does on the camera here. Looks cracking though. I think I don't think there's many beers that can look as good as that, so I have to give it top marks, 10 out of 10. Flavour-wise, I mean, I'm a little bit biased because this style of beer is exactly what I'm looking for. But it's soft, it's smooth, it's got all that juiciness with only a slightness of dankness just to round it off. It's not, even though you know it's a hop forward beer, you're not getting hop burn. The 6% is just about the right level, I think, and it's packed with all those different hops. And just when you think you're getting all that sort of juice flavours, then you get this huge hit of another wave of real pungent, sort of juicy, sort of fresh, juicy flavours. And it's a really, really good beer. Flavour-wise, I'm gushing about it, but it's just exactly what I want. These Northern Monk Patrons projects are always that little bit better, a little bit special, and this one is no different. In terms of the flavour, I'm giving it a high 37 out of 40. Value for money. Okay, so this is, it knocks it back. This was £5.50, but the beer is that good. It's got 5 different hops in it. It's Patrons project, so it's obviously there's some sort of collaboration. I don't know whether there's any sort of money going there. Sometimes there's a charity sort of involved as well. So and to be honest, this is a big step up from a lot of sub £5 beers. There's definitely a lot of craft and a lot of a lot of love gone into making this beer. So even though it's £5.50 and it's probably one of the more expensive ones that I've had this month, I'm giving it an 8. So it's not going to get high, but I don't think I can give it a 7 because let's face it, the beer 52s I give 7s, and they are usually really bad value for money. You pay for this sort of beer compared with some of those beers that like the beer 52s. It's twice the beer than that, yeah, and it's less than twice the price, so definitely should get a little bit up. So 8 out of 10 for value. And then my overall experience, well, if you haven't already noticed, I love this beer. I think it's a really, really good beer. The hops in it are all the sort of hops that I'm liking. Azacca, Citra, Idaho 7, Strata, Citra, Cryo. You don't usually get all of those sort of hops, but they all work together in a really good way. And it's really drinkable, it's soft, and it's up there for me with some of the best day of beers that we've had. So it's cracking. I'm giving it 17 from overall experience. And we topped those scores up, and I think off the top of my head, this is the highest. I couldn't believe that this is actually the highest ranking beer that I have done this year. Even though the days are all in the mid sort of 80s and all pretty damn highly recommended, this is 88. So it's only a couple of points of being the ultimate beer. But to me, this is the sort of beer that every other beer should be sort of up against, really, in terms of what it does. It's difficult to really sort of find out what sort of beer would score better than this, would be a better beer than this. There's nothing wrong with this beer. It's got all the juicy flavours, but it doesn't overdo it. And it's got that nice, rounded, slightly earthiness on the back end. As it's warming up, you're getting all the flavours are starting to develop and get even better now. So 17, total scores 88, and that is a really good beer. The beer so far, it's a beer to be beaten for this year, which I thought when I bought it, I thought, yeah, it's always going to be good. I know I'm going to enjoy this beer, but this one is a really, really good beer. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to drinking the rest of it in a more relaxed setting. So hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know if you've had a Patrons project before, or even this one, and what you think of it. Is it up there with some of the best beers that you've had? Northern Monk, they're one of these sort of breweries that, I think that they do the Patrons projects. They do the Old Flax Store stuff as well, and of course they do a lot of other beers, and they also do their sort of supermarket beers. They're all good beers. I mean, unless you're talking about the only bad one I've had or 2 bad ones I've had. One of them was the ice cream pale ale that was a long while ago. I didn't like that, but I think ice cream pales are not great, whoever does them. And then the other one was the sour, the one that was like a snow globe. I can't remember what it was called now, but I think it was a guava and passion fruit. And again, that one didn't quite work as well. But everything else, certainly all their New England IPAs they've got in the supermarkets are really, really good. And they're some of the best supermarket beers you can buy. But the Patrons project for me just takes it a step further. Patrons project last year, I had the one that was the, I'm never going to remember what it's called now, but it had it was in collaboration with a lemon soda maker, lemonade sort of maker, and it was passion fruit, but it had this sort of sherbety sort of flavour, and it was like a cracking beer. It was like, and you had it, and I thought I wanted to buy more of that because I just thought it was really, really good, and it was that little bit different, and that was a Patrons project. So they do really good beers. Give them a try. I'm always, if I see a Patrons project, as I said, through the Fuss Club, I bought this one. And I usually, if I see new ones on there and I think, yeah, I'm going to have one of those, because I know that they're going to be good, but this one is better than good. It's really good. It's great, in fact. So cracking beer. Another quick shine of the cover. This is obviously the Northern Working Class Heroes. No such thing as the wrong weather. It's a cracking beer. Give it a try. Hope you've enjoyed that video. I've waffled on far too long, but if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe for all the great content that I put out. Lots more beer reviews coming. We're still going through the Fuss Club stuff, and there's some really good beers I'm really looking forward to. So keep on watching to see them. And until the next one, keep on rocking.